Right, so it's January the 5th. That was a lovely noise. Just moving my mic across the table. And it's January the 5th, and my feed is full of game plan call offers. This is fucked up, right? If you don't have Q1 planned on January the 5th, you're in trouble. And the game plan call is not what you need, all right? I was doing these in December. I was helping people set out January and February in terms of lead gen systems and what offers to plug into those lead gen systems. Okay, so a simple lead magnet offer, simple lead generation offer that's going to be high converting, that you can change parts of and refresh throughout the year with high converting components such as lead magnets, low ticket offers, free offers, etc. But honestly, if you don't have something in the system ready to go on January the 5th, then I think you're going to be in trouble, because while planning made sense in December, now is the time for action, and you should already be on the way to making your first offer. People think that there's going to be this January rush, especially in the health and fitness industry, and it doesn't really exist. It exists in the physical world. Gym memberships go up, attendance doesn't necessarily go up. It does for a couple of weeks, but you can't rely on this so-called January rush for filling your books, for getting your clients, because it doesn't really exist in terms of, oh, people will just come. All right, that doesn't happen. If you don't have a warm list of people who you've been speaking to and nurturing throughout the whole of November and December, ready to take action and make offers to in January, then you're going to be pushing hard now through till mid-February to get momentum to have a list of people to make offers to. And if you're doing that manually, then you are going to struggle. The cost of losing in January is pretty high, because if you get off to a bad start, not only does it give you a bad start financially, it gives you a bad start mentally, and you are going to be, pushing on an uphill battle. So now is not the time for more planning. Now's the time to start doing. And I don't mean just sticking your finger in the air and saying, I've got an offer, January sale, I'm looking for 5 people. Because again, if you've not been feeding a leads list and nurturing people and I don't like that word, nurturing, it's very marketing, but if you haven't been warming people up to your methods, to your program, to the way that you work and think, and building a relationship with people, putting out an offer just publicly is probably not going to get you anywhere either. It might get you a sale, but you're not going to start filling your pockets that way. So if you haven't already got a plan for Q1, for January, February, March, and listed out, the offers you're going to be making, when you're going to be opening your doors, when you're going to be trying to get people, when you're going to be making public offers, because we should be making private offers all the time in the background, whether that's email, DMs, phone calls, sales calls, Zoom calls, face-to-face, whatever. But publicly putting out promotion, you don't want to be doing that all of the time, because, buyer's fatigue, and it just looks terrible. But I've lost my train of thought. If you don't have offers set out and things that you're going to offer people, free, low ticket, high ticket, whatever, that's going to move them closer to becoming a client, if you don't have this planned, then you're already way behind all of your competitors, because guaranteed the ones that are winning knew in December, maybe the end of November, exactly what they were doing today. They knew exactly what emails they were putting out. They knew exactly when they were making an offer, whether it's today or whether it's the end of this week or whether it's early next week. and they will have content that is leading up to making this offer, and they're going to be winning. You're not going to be winning, because you can't just wing it. So that's why, look, jumping on another game plan call is not going to get you anywhere, because psychologically it puts you in planning mode still. It keeps you in planning mode because you're going to go on this call, they're going to make you an offer to help implement it, but you're going to be spinning with all these ideas and with, you know, a list of stuff that you need to be doing. When 9 times out of 10, this is the problem that I see. And the problem that people have is leads. Look, if you had an up and down year last year in terms of sales, then don't listen to this nonsense about you don't have a leads problem, you have a sales problem. Because the fact of the matter is, if you don't have leads, you don't have sales opportunities. That's it. Zero leads equals zero sales opportunities. Low number of leads equals a low number of sales opportunities. High number of leads equals a high number of sales opportunities. So you can't have sales without leads. So it all starts with your leads. Yes, you can get better at conversion, but you can't get better out of conversion without having leads. So it all starts with your leads. And if you are relying on growing your social media organically or with ads, look, James Smith says over and over again, I've heard him say it on a number of occasions, at most 2% of his audience have bought something from him or have converted, and that can mean free lead magnets as well. Okay, so less than 2% of his audience have converted. Now, he's got millions of followers, so that's not a problem to him because 2% of a few million is a lot. But if you've got a few hundred or a couple of thousand followers, the numbers don't stack up. So every 100 new followers that you get, you might get 1 or 2 conversions. And that is a problem, okay? So the other thing is that followers don't equal leads. Like, your followers are not your leads until the point where you get them to put their hands up and say yes to something, free or paid, or free if we're talking about leads. Unless when you get to the point that they've put their hands up and said, yes, I've got that problem, or I'll take that freebie, then they become a lead. Or yes, they're in a conversation with you and they're admitting to having the problems that you can help them solve. Then they become a lead. But followers do not equal leads. So you have to identify who is a lead, and then you have to convert them onto a free list or onto something paid. Okay, and before that, you need to qualify them as well. So followers do not equal leads. You need 100 followers to get 1 or 2 conversions, and that conversion is probably going to be a free conversion, i.e. onto an email list or into a chat. So the numbers don't stack up. Okay, so if you're doing this manually, then you've also got to factor in your mental state and your energy, because manual marketing is bloody hard, and it relies on you being high in energy and having the time and the patience and the motivation to do it. Okay, and it's very hit or miss. So you're screwed. That's it, you're screwed. So if you want 2026 to be a serious year, then you need to start implementing systems. Okay, and we've got human systems and we've got automated systems, and the bare minimum of an automated system that you need is a high converting offer, free offer, plugged into a simple landing page with a sequence of emails that are going to teach people, give them value, bring them around to your way of thinking before you even make them a big offer. Get them to like you and the things that you do, and do that all on autopilot. Okay, so that you're not having to send 50 messages to get 3 replies and then keep 1 or 2 conversations, and do that day in, day out, because that's draining. And again, it relies on your input, your time, your motivation, your energy, your mental state. It's fucking hard. Okay, so you need something like, you can even yes, you do that. You might want to do that as well. And then people that you chat to, you send them the link, you get them to go into your email list, and then it does a lot of that work for you. It does a lot of the relationship building for you. So if you do one thing, if you don't have a plan now, the one thing that I'd suggest you do is start installing a simple high converting lead magnet funnel. Okay, now going beyond that funnels are linear, and we want them to be continual, so we move on to sales loops but forget all about that now. The minimum that you need is a very, very fucking good free offer that people are going to put their hands up to and say yes to whenever you offer it, or they fall on your landing page or your profile, or you run an ad to, and a very good set of emails that are going to run in the background and do a lot of this work for you. Without that, you're going to struggle again. Okay, conversations are going to be up and down, which means your time, and your time's going to be up and down, which means your inputs are going to be up and down, which means your income and your mental state is going to be up and down. So I'm going to be putting out an offer in the next few days that is a fucking no-brainer in terms of what it's going to do, because it's going to, like I say, January is for action, and this is to install a simple lead magnet funnel within a few days, get it up and running and going, and it's going to not only get you leads and sales in January, it's going to build momentum, and it's going to pay for itself over and over again each week, each month, throughout the whole of the year. I'm only going to do a few of these because I'm actually going to build them for you, and the way we're going to do it is very, very quickly, and then you can perfect it afterwards, because imperfect action is better than perfect procrastination. All right. The offer will be somewhere communicated in this video, this podcast, wherever you're listening to, watching this. There'll be a link, there'll be a call to action, or just fucking DM me 2026 leads and we will sort it out. Like I say, I'm going to be building the landing page, the email sequence. You're going to be giving me the content and the copy and dropping it in, and we're going to do it very, very quickly, because now is not the time to piss around with planning and lots of planning, and then procrastination, and then more planning and more procrastination, and then hitting your head against the wall because you've got no fucking sales. So if you do one thing, it's take action, start fucking building a system that's going to help you for the rest of the year, and not rely on your energy. I'm just waffling now, so this is a new form of content for me, by the way. I'm going to be doing a lot of this. This is audio first, although the camera is on. Whether I post my ugly face or not, I don't know. From this, all of my other content, my short form, my email, is all going to come from this recording. I'm going to document how that goes as well, because I don't have much time in the day to create all the content that I need to or I want to, so I'm playing around with different ways of doing it. But anyway, if you want to make sales and get regular leads in 2026, DM me, man.